Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me for today's Friday Sews video. As always, a huge thank you to Jen for coming up with that fabulous hashtag. So I'm here to talk to you about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing, and a little bit of life as well. And at the very end, I'll pop in a teeny weeny bit of knitting and crochet, but I'll give you fair warning if that's not something you're interested in, which is fair enough. So I hope you've all had a lovely week. The weather in Dublin has been pretty good, despite one incredibly rainy day. It's been mostly okay, but it's still nice and mild and warm enough, which is great. We haven't had to put the heating on, which is always a bonus. So shall we get started with what has been going on in the French Seams household? So I have received some very lovely happy post. So Lucy, the sewing gardener, she hosted the challenge back in May, which was Sew Skin Summer. She just randomly messaged me and said, I have labels that I think you might like, would you like them? So blown away. She had these French Seams labels, very on brand. I bought these very early in my sewing journey and I haven't seen them since, and of course they've all been used, they're in various garments. So she very kindly posted me some of these labels. No, she didn't. She posted loads of labels. So first of all, she sent me the most beautiful card, which is going to go up my sewing room. It's beautiful. And she sent, of course, the French Seams labels, but she sent loads others. She sent ones like this, ones like this. I couldn't believe it when I opened the little parcel and all these labels came out. So she sent tons and tons. So they'll all get used. I promise, Lucy. I love using labels, and that was very kind of you. Thank you very much. So very spoiled that day. It was just lovely to check the post and find that. The next thing I received in the post was my prize, and this was the prize for So Fruity. So I released my So Fruity Makes video on the vlog a couple of days ago. I'll link it up here. It was basically the 4 things I made for So Fruity. I love each and every one of them. I made a little strawberry pouch. I made a lobster lemon t-shirt. I made the painter's tote by the lovely Luke. And I made the Forget Me Not Patterns Zentha tote. I love all those patterns. I loved making them and I love that challenge. So again, I'll pop it up here. I won pattern weights. So I won these from Cause Love, and I'll link them down below. They're over on Instagram, and they are the most fabulous pattern weights. So they're quite weighty. I think they've got ball bearings in them, which is really great. And it's this kind of like linen-y look fabric, but it's got, if I find you a good one, it's got little sheep on it. I mean, how adorable are they? And they've got little hanging loops, which is just brilliant. They're so easy to pick up and put down. So I got 6 of those, which is great. I did a mammoth cutting out session this week and I was able to use them, and they are fabulous. So really lucky to have won that prize, and a huge thank you to Cause Love and also to the lovely Yvette for hosting the challenge once again. If I could juggle, that would be really cool, but I won't. Right, moving on. So what else? The sewing bee has started. So we're into week 2. I'm not going to have any spoilers, don't you worry. But I will remind you that after the sewing bee every week, my lovely friend Katie, Whateverkatiesews over on Instagram, does a little live chat. So I'll link that below. Be sure to join in. And also my lovely friend Sam, So Let's Sparkle, every week on a Wednesday releases her kind of a summary of the previous night's episode, which is wonderful. So I'll link her playlist down below as well. So you get to kind of relive it every week. It's fabulous. So really enjoying it. I was very lucky last week for the first episode. My lovely mum was staying with us, so we got to watch it together, which was lovely. So what have I been sewing? So my sepia pants, here we go. They are finished. So I'll pop in a picture of me wearing them here. So this was my second version of the pattern, but my first trouser version. My other version was a little shorts. I'll pop in a picture here that I use as pajama shorts, which I love. So on those, I lowered the rise by 3 inches and it was pretty good. Then on this version, I meant to lower it again by ½ inch, but I ended up lowering it by 1 inch because I forgot it's halved front and back. Rookie mistake. So this rise actually lowered by 4 inches, which is a teeny bit too much, but they're still totally wearable and I love them. This was my first foray into kind of stripy fabric. It was my first foray into a barrel leg, which I'm really loving. So I'm very happy with how they came out. It's using that lovely elastic from Vibes and Scribe, which is super comfortable. So it's got this lovely kind of paper bag waist. I made a size 14 at the waist and a size 12 for the rest of the trousers. I have got another version cut out, more on that later, and I've actually graded up to a 16 at the waist. Because I lower the waist, I need a bigger circumference on that, so I've gone with a 16 to give it a nice kind of ruffly finish. I added both pockets here 2 pockets too many for me. I think 1 is plenty, and because I lower the rise, they do come down now quite low. They're meant to be obviously 3 inches higher, but I think it does give a really, really cute effect, and I would like to try it on a plain fabric. So I did on the cross grain because I definitely wasn't pattern matching. I did the back pockets on the cross grain as well. You would have seen most of this on my video last week, but I have now actually finished them. So they do have a little barrel at the bottom, so you can see there's a little pleat here, and there's a pleat to the back, and then there's a pleat again on the back knee to give the inside back knee to give that lovely finish. And this is actually finished with a facing underneath, which is a really, really nice way of finishing the trousers. It gives a nice kind of weight. It's not just turned under, which I think is very, very nice. So I love this pattern so much, and I think one more go and I think I'll crack it. On my next version, I've gone back to the 3 inches, lower the rise by 3 inches. This one, I lengthened them by 1 inch. I think they're meant to be kind of above the ankle, so I've taken that inch out. Hopefully I haven't done anything awry, but yeah, so hopefully a 3rd time lucky. But it's a really, really cool pattern, and I think I'm definitely in the barra leg camp. I think I really, really am, but I think it's really, really cool fabric, and it looks lovely with a white t-shirt. In this picture, I've got it with my Tilly and the Buttons Agnes t-shirt. This fabric is gorgeous, and it's from Crafty Studio, although I think it's sold out, I'm sorry. So this was my sepia trousers, which I just love. So this week as well, my boys and myself went away for a little night away. I took them away, and they of course wore their little Adam Sews acorn backpacks, which are the nicest pattern. I just love it so much. I'll put in a picture of them here because my boys are using them. And so we went away for the night, and the boys used them. They're perfect for change clothes, pajamas, toys, books, all that kind of stuff. Not to be left out, I decided to make myself a backpack as well. So this was always a plan to make myself a matching one, and I was wondering, could I make it happen? So I followed the pattern exactly for the 2 boys ones, which was great, and then I knew I wanted to make myself one. So once the boys ones were made, I did a couple of measuring, and I measured it against a backpack that I have already, and I decided to make myself one. So what I did was, for the acorn pattern piece, I scaled it up to 150%. So basically this is 1.5 times the size of the boys one, and I love it. So I've now made this backpack 3 times, and I just love making it. So it's all fully quilted. It's got the lovely zip at the front. For mine, I put a little coffee cup. That's a Studio 77. I've got a Specky Seamstress Always Crafting label here, which I love. I did all my binding on the zip. I'll pop in my Friday sews from last week, where I have not a tutorial, but I show you how I use my awl to get binding to sit nicely. So it's got a lovely quilted front pocket. Then the back, I didn't alter this shoulder straps. They're the perfect length, and I used red straps from mine. Then it's lined in the sharks again. I put my little hanging loop. I just put a bit of bias binding here just to give this extra security, because I didn't fully trust my sewing, to be perfectly honest. Then on the inside, it's a huge big inside. It's all fully bound again, and it's got this lovely big inside pocket. I just measured the distance on the boys ones from here to here. Proportionally, I just measured that to the new one, and it seemed to work out quite well. Then the inside, I've got this inside zip pocket, and I've got little spotty fabric on the inside. Can you see that spotty fabric on the inside? And then I popped in a little label. It's got that sunshine in my pocket, and for this, the binding went in beautifully. So I will show you my binding happily. There you go. I loved doing this. On my last video, one lovely lady said, why don't you change to a zipper foot, which I did, and I just really, really took my time and used it. So my binding, I'm so happy with binding, and I'm not afraid to show you the binding in the inside, which is marvelous. It did help that this bag was slightly bigger, but I think I've definitely got the hang of it now. It's just wonderful. So again, fully quilted, all the foam, all that good stuff. The Lego fabric is from Crafty Studio. The spotty was just in my stash. The sharks are from Rainbow Fabric, so use Rachel !VIP here for 20% off site wide. All the hardware, the webbing, the D-rings, the lobster clasps, the sliders is from Quilter and Stitch, and all the foam is from Quilter and Stitch as well, actually. Yes, it is. So absolutely love it. I've got the double zip at the top, and it was so nice. I've got my little anchors here as well, and we did get a few compliments wearing them, and this was just brilliant to wear, and they're very, very easy to spot, and I just love this so much, and I think I'll be making more of these. Yeah, it's just a fabulous, fabulous pattern. Adam, you got a winner there for sure. You really, really did. So loved making this. That was my little make as well, and so pleased that when you've thought of something for a long time and it actually happens and it actually works out, it's just magic. It really, really is. So What more about sewing? So shall I have a quick look here? Yes, speaking of Adam Sews, I was very, very happy to secure one of his advent calendars. So I'm super, super excited about that. I didn't get any advent calendars last year and I really, really felt it. For the previous few years, I've had the Beyond the Pink Door one. I think I got that for 2 years. I got the Kylie and the Machine one a couple of years ago as well. And I had such FOMO last year. So when Adam released his calendars this year, I jumped on it. So massive thank you to Adam. I know there's a huge amount of work that goes on behind the scenes for that, so really excited. But I won't talk about Christmas, it's still July. I do want to say a huge thank you. I've received some very, very lovely Ko-fis recently, so thank you very, very much to Michelle, Marion and Laurie. Thank you very, very much. It's very, very generous of you and I really appreciate it. I love making these videos. I absolutely love it, and it makes me really, really happy that people enjoy watching them. So a massive thank you to the three of you and for everybody who supports me over on Ko-fi as well. So massive thank you. Shall we talk about a brand new challenge? So if you've seen on Instagram, myself and my lovely friends Sam So Let's Sparkle and Catherine Sovater Makery are going to be hosting a new sewing challenge this September, and we are super excited. So we're busily working away in the background. We've secured some fabulous sponsors, so a massive thank you to those. We're going to be putting up more details about it over the next few weeks, but it's basically, as a phoenix, something can rise from the ashes. It's a sewing make that you made in the past that you would like to remake now, given all the knowledge you now have that you mightn't have had when you made it. So I certainly have a few ideas in the back of my mind, and we would love you to join in on that challenge as well. So keep an eye on my channel over on Instagram as well, and Sam and Catherine, and we'll be releasing all the details, and it's going to be open worldwide, and there's going to be a load of lovely prizes, and it's just going to be a really, really fun time. So thank you for supporting that, but more details, definitely more details over the next few weeks. So what are my plans for the coming week? So as mentioned, I did a massive cutting out session. It just takes so long, doesn't it? Because I iron my patterns because I store them rolled up, and then I have to make any alterations based on the last time I made them, and then you have to iron the fabric and then cut out the fabric and do all that good stuff, and I have to cut out on the sitting room floor downstairs. So, and some of my fabric was quite long, so it spilled into a different room, so it was quite entertaining. But I have done loads of cutting out thanks to my lovely pattern weights. So this is cut out. This is fabulous fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. It's kind of a stretch cotton, kind of almost denim-y fabric, and this is my cord. So this is going to be the Helen's Closet Gilbert shirt and another pair of sepia trousers. Very excited about that. So they're all done. The next one I cut out was, and thank you for all the suggestions on this, I took your advice. Everything is going to fall over now, isn't it? It is a new fringe dress. That's all cut out in this beautiful green fabric, kind of almost animal-y print fabric. And then the last thing that's cut out, oh, I have a little spare piece, that'll be much easier than showing you cut out, is blueberry fabric, and this is going to be another Elodie dress. So if you cast your minds back a few weeks, I made an Elodie dress as part of a collaboration with my lovely friend Claire, Stitch Sew. I'll link it up here, and we made the Elodie dress, and I knew straight away, as soon as I finished that one, I wanted to make a new one. And I was humming and hawing about this blueberry fabric from Driesenstoffen, and I thought this would be perfect. One lovely viewer commented that it looks like the blueberries have eyeballs. Now I can't unsee it, but I love it. So I just love this fabric so much, and it's a kind of a viscosy fabric. My other one is a much more kind of shiny silky fabric, and it had a bit of stretch, so I'm very keen to just make it in a viscose fabric. So that's going to be my Elodie. So I got those all cut out this week, which was great. That's all done. So yeah, that cord, the Gilbert shirt and the sepia trousers are part of the cord challenge, the Sew Together for Summer, which is being hosted by the lovely Susie Sewing in Spain, and also by Jen Legg as well. Fabulous challenge, make up a cord. I've been so inspired by everything I've seen so far, so I'm really, really keen to get that sewn up quickly so I can post it in July. So they are my plans. I should actually mention what I'm wearing today. This is a Tilly and Buttons Lotta dress, and I made this for Stitch Festival in March. So I love the Lotta dress so much. Just simple pull over the head, elastic waist, floaty skirt. I bind the neckline instead of using a facing. Specky seamstress binding, of course. I think which side? Yeah, I have a little Rosy Cheeks label here. I made this. Loved making this for Stitch Festival. I wore it with high boots, but I just wear them now with sandals. I love it, and this fabric is the most beautiful. I think it's Italian dead stock viscose that I got from Crafty Studio earlier in the year. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love wearing this dress so much. I have been wearing dresses loads, and I do have a video coming to you hopefully very soon about 10 dresses that I've been wearing recently, which is quite good fun. So I'm continuing on at my dress theme. So I think that about wraps it up on the sewing side. So thank you very, very much for watching so far. I'm going to move on to my knitting and crochet portion. If you've no interest in that, I will say goodbye and a massive thank you for watching. But if you would like a little knitting and crochet update, then let's do it. First up, knitting. I finished my socks. So here they are. Seasonally inappropriate socks. I made them ever so slightly shorter. This is the well, it's a kind of a hack of things now because I'm so good at sewing and knitting socks now. I decided to hack a pattern. No, it's basic because I'm trialing all different ones to find out which ones I love. So it's just a simple cast on and a nice toe. I think it's make one left, make one right for the toe, and then it's just stockinette stitch all the way up. Then it's the heel that I had such trouble with the last time that I finally managed to do. Again, I think I mentioned the last time I did this one on a flight to the UK and this one on a flight home, which was wonderful. Knitting on planes is just fabulous. And then just more stockinette, and then I did a 2x2 binding, ribbing here, and then the stretchy bind off, which is working perfectly. So loved making these. This wool is a self-striping. It's the West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's in their colourway called Peacock, which is lovely. And the reason I wanted to do this heel in a self-striping was to see what it looked like, because my older version, it's more kind of a gradual fade kind of rather than a self-striping, and I wanted to see what it looked like. So I'm quite happy with how it looks. I just wanted to trial it out. So these are my new socks and I'm very, very happy with them. Pop in a little picture of me sporting them here. Before I had finished them, of course, I had to buy some new yarn to cast on straight away. So I'll pop in the skein of what I bought. I treated myself to this. So this is Knit, which is where I got that West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, but this is called a Clarendon sock, and they actually dye it themselves. So it's hand dyed in Ireland. This I totally treated myself. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon. You can absolutely feel the difference between these ones and the new yarn. You can really feel it. So I was very happy that I treated myself to that. They're so knowledgeable in that shop. It's absolutely fabulous. So it's called Townhouse Yarns, and you can see that's the Paris Court Townhouse there from Dublin City Centre, and this colourway is called Cove. So it came in the kind of the twirly skein, which I'd never worked with before. It took me about 2 days to get 2 balls of 50-gram yarn. I did it, I don't know what I was doing. I've never done it before. I had it over a door handle, all that good stuff. I got in such a muddle. I'll pop in a picture here of, this is the yarn. This wasn't me tearing my hair out. So my lovely friend Cindy happened to be messaging me at the same time, and I was like, what do I do? So I think the shop could do it for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let me know any tips and tricks for getting that into balls of wool. It was not a good time, but we got there in the end, and I have 2 lovely balls of the wool. So it's a kind of a minty greeny colour with little flecks, and I really wanted the flecks because you can see if you watched my video last week, it's in the bikini stage. So I wanted to use this new pattern, and it's called Scatterby, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll pop in a picture where it looks like here. It's this really, can I bring it a little bit closer? Here we go. Can you see this lovely pattern here? So it's done by a combination of kind of slipping purlwise, and then what you do is then you knit it but wrap it around twice. So you've got all these loops and weaves and everything, and I think it gives a really, really nice effect. So I've done 3 of the pattern repeats now, so that's going to follow the whole way up. It was a new to me toe. This is the what is it again? I've forgotten what it is. I've literally just done it. Let me just double check on the pattern here. It is KFB, knit front and back, which I really, really like the effect of that. So I'm very, very happy with my Scatterby socks so far. I'm going to do the heel that they suggest here that I've not done before, and that is called the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So that's going to be a new to me heel. So very, very happy with these. So we'll just see how long this takes me, because it's Halloween time. So I've shown this before. This is my trick or treat crochet, and it is going to be the Halloween crochet along, and the first week has been released. So I'll pop a picture of here what the whole thing is going to look like. Week 1 is these big huge square panels, I think, done in the round, and they're going to have the bats and the cats. So very, very excited to get started on that. I've got my little pouch ready to go. This was a little pouch I made with leftover fabric from my Adam Sews caddy, and this has all my little stitch markers, and of course for the grand finale it has my little label. So I'm so excited to get started on this. So that's why my knitting may take a back seat while I get my Halloween crochet blanket started. So super, super excited about that. I do have a little group over on Instagram for everybody who's doing that blanket, or everybody who's just has an interest. So if you would like to join that group, it's a fabulous collaborative, really encouraging group. Please message me over on Instagram and I will happily add you to that group as well. I think it's not like WhatsApp. I think you do get access to all the previous history, which is great. So that is my knitting update. So I'm just doing a quick look here. I think knitting and crochet update, I should say. I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you about. I think it is. Yes. So there was a little catch up after my lovely week. Thank you very, very much as always for watching, especially if you watched to the very, very end, if you're interested in all my crafting endeavours. I hope you're having a lovely week as well. Please let me know in the comment box what you're getting up to, or if you have any questions or comments on anything I've spoken about today. If you like this video, I'd very much love it if you give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I would love to have you along on my sewing journey. I hope you all have a lovely week, a lovely weekend, and I will talk to you all again very soon in another video. Take care, everyone.